Your Uncle Don't Know Nothing podcast. Your host, Sauce, the analyst, Doc Prime, Big Play Joe, MJ the Playmaker, and Coach Peyton.
Here's another topic they've been ranting and raving about, and that's Ja Morant. They've been all day long. Now, personally, I like the grenade. You know, I understand what they're talking about the gun thing. I think they doing that to him because of all the problems he's had with the gun. But Doc Prime, let me go to you. Ja Morant, when he came out and he used the gun sign, right? Right after he was warned and got the $75,000 fine. If you could sit down being a man of the faith and you know, being one to be looked up to, if you could sit down with Ja Morant for an hour, what would that conversation look like?
So the first thing I would say is, if you come out dropping 40 like it's nothing, the fans are gonna forget all that stuff anyway. You keep playing. You keep playing hard. Now, I would tell you that a lot of people are tired of the off-court drama. I get it. I think I think some of it is overblown. I think some of it is just a matter of being in the spotlight and not really knowing how to handle it. I would tell that young man, I would say, listen, you need to focus on your play. I would tell him to kind of take a low-key approach to the media and just stay out of the spotlight. Just come, play hard, and keep doing what you're doing. If you do that, I think everything else will die.
All right, I'm gonna go to you, Big Play. Now, look, it seems clearly when he purposely did that, right? That he was saying he gonna do what he want to do, right? He's a young star of the team. Joe, tell me what does that look like in the locker room? I mean, how does a coach deal with something like that? I mean, you sitting on the bench and he does it. I mean, how in the locker room, how do you get the guys together? Because it's a young group of guys, young guys, How do you handle this in the locker room?
Say, man, I'm Ja Morant. And I don't care who you are. I got a mortgage to pay, motherfucker.
So the players understand what he's doing. They look up to him. They think it's cool. He is the star of the team, hands down. You drafted him, and you knew he was going to be the way he is now. He's not changing. He's adjusting so he tries not to get fined. I mean, you know what you got. And to complain about it now is ridiculous.
I kind of agree with that. I'm going to go to you, MJ, and then I'm going to come to you, Coach. MJ, is this due to Silver's buddy plan or buddy relationship with the players that Ja Morant was like, you know what, I'm going to do it anyway, opposed to Stern's harsh, punishment of the players of yesteryear? Do we lay this at the feet of Silver?
No. So I have beef with Adam Silver and some of the things that he's done before, but no, this isn't Adam Silver's fault. Ja Morant reminds me of what team he would have fit well into back in David Stern's day, a team we called the Portland Jailblazers. He would have fit well into that team. There was another team. They had Rasheed Wallace, who felt he got treated unfairly because he was getting more technicals than anybody else. Mm-hmm. He's one of the famous players who got a technical for yelling out, "Ball don't lie." Now, was that fair? Well, I would say no, but they go by his track record. I think for Ja Morant, I think he's frustrated. I think this season hasn't gone the way he's wanted. His utilization was different. They fired the coach. Apparently, he was upset about that. Since the firing of the coach, the last 10 games, the kid has been balling out. He sees his draft mate, Zion Williamson, basically never plays. I think Ja Morant misses being in the conversation, called one of the best basketball players in the world. I think he's hungry to be on people's, lists and be on people's mind, etc. And I also think that he, enjoys the gun culture and he doesn't think there's anything wrong with it, which, I have hesitations about. I would hope people kind of talk with him and get him out of that because some of the things that he's alleged to have done are a little bit scary. But
Facts.
outside of
Facts.
that, I think he's frustrated. I think he's upset. I think he's wanting people to pay attention to him again. And one of the things we know about, young people is that they will do some things that are questionable in order to get attention. And I think that's all this is. I think that's why he came up with the grenade celebration. He'll probably start using rocket launcher celebrations and all types of other types of weapons we didn't even think of. And that can be his little thing now. But I think for him, he just wants attention. And I hope that come playoff time, he has some of the most epic performances that we've ever seen. Because I think he's a really good player.
Yeah,
Man.
I agree. He's a good player. But the attention that I would want to see is his stats in playing basketball, not the attention off the field. And I hope that he takes to heart that he can get that attention by his play and not necessarily by playing and playing around.
Coach Payton. So what does the organization do? I mean, like I said earlier, he is the face. He's one of the
We gonna
better. He's
start.
one of the best players in the league. What does the organization do about his antics, or is they gonna do anything about it?
Man,
Do they just
everybody,
turn a blind eye?
everybody is overlooking the most important point of the whole thing. Ja Morant daddy is at every game. He acts for food just along with him. So it starts from the
Hold
head.
on,
He's supposed to
hold on. He ain't act no fool with Shannon Sharp though.
no.
Hey, Skip. Hey, Skip. I'm telling you, my grandma, Skip. My grandma told me one time, Skip.
Shannon
Yeah,
Sharp
everything
next
it's slowed. It got slow motion. Everything
Y'all,
slowed down.
y'all are
See
tripping.
now I'm thinking. See now I'm thinking you capping now.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you got to be careful talking about his dad, man. He might LeBron you, Sean.
I don't care, but it start with him. It starts with him, man. Because think about it. As a father, and we are all of us are fathers. If we see our kid out there acting a fool in front of millions of people worldwide, we gonna have that conversation. We gonna really have that conversation. Look, you about to mess the bag up, and you about to mess your future businesses up. You about to mess up your Olympic trial and Olympic spot at the next Olympics in 2028. And Adam Silver is trying his best to get that together before the Olympics because he wants him in the Olympics.
He got to be in.
Because you think about this. Who else out there, the young up and coming superstars, can really take a game over and bring excitement to the game? I'll wait. So that's the point. His father needs to sit down and have a talk with him. And Adam Silver can't do anything. It's the father that's allowing the behavior to continue on because he's not having that conversation with him. So it doesn't have nothing to do with Adam Silver. It has to do with the patriarch.
I might have to disagree. I don't think nobody can handle Ja Morant. Not his mama, not his daddy, not his homeboys. I just think, hey man, the man got the bag. He a superstar. He living his dream. He wants to be gang affiliated for some reason. And listen, I remember having a conversation with a guy, right? And he started acting tough and all that. Well, when we grew up, he wasn't a tough guy. You know who I'm talking about. He wasn't a tough guy. But you know what he told me? He said, Sauce, I grew up and now I'm being who I always wanted to be. And I can't say, hey man, if you wanted to grow up and be a tough guy, who am I to tell this man don't live his dream? I'm thinking Ja Morant gonna do what he gonna do. And the world will forgive him as long as he playing good basketball.
Well, but hold on.
Wait. Somebody's gonna
That's what
tell him how to live his dream. Like if you get arrested, the police are telling you don't live your dream no more. You gonna live in our world now. You
That's
gonna be in
facts.
prison, and your dream is gone.
That's facts.
Nah. We
But let's
can't
hold
have
on.
that.
But let's,
Hey,
Top
hold
40
on,
and
Joe.
Gen
I don't. Hey, Joe, I don't agree with what he's doing. I'm just saying that might be the reason why he's doing it, because that's something he want to do, and he got the bag. He's the man.
but let me. Can I add a little bit? He has a he. You're saying acting tough, being tough,
Well, the
making a
gang
gun
stuff,
shoot, making
the
a
gang
gun
stuff,
shooting
the gun
motion after
signs.
hitting a three is not being a tough guy. I don't think he's trying to be a tough guy or anything like that. He hasn't done anything off the court to our knowledge this season. He has been good.
Yeah, he
I
has.
think I think people are overblowing it, like because the NBA is trying to be like, whoa, listen, you $1 million, you a big time business. We don't want you even flirting with that anymore, so they're coming down on him. But I think in general, it's not a big problem. I think he's the Iverson esque kind of bad boy of the day with his
I don't know.
explosive
Iverson
play.
won't throwing up signs. He won't.
Iverson,
Iverson won't doing this.
Iverson was not trying to practice. Iverson had things that he did. I mean, the whole dress code came because of Allen Iverson. Everyone started getting
True.
braids and the tattoos because of AI. I'm not
True.
saying Ja Morant is trying to be a bad guy. I'm just saying he is that kind of rebel type personality that the NBA kind of doesn't have right now. And if that's who he wants to be, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. But you got to back it up with your play. And one of the things I want to hear from Ja Morant. Why don't he take a couple of interviews and tell us what he's thinking? Is it a big deal where is it just a celebration and everybody needs to calm down? Or is it, no, I'm really about this life. That's who I am. I'm letting y'all know. I ain't gonna be listening to no Adam Silver, no nobody, right? I don't know. Come tell me something. Give a personality with it so we can understand you a little better. Because I think none of us really know his personality very well.
But think
See,
about
I think
this.
a lot of it is on his publicists and the people that are around him as well. Do you want to have the persona of a tough guy? Mitch Green was a tough guy.
I want me Mike Tyson.
Got in the ring with Mike Tyson. We saw what happened with that. There's a lot of you could be a tough guy and you could get beat down. All right.
Well,
What I'm saying,
when I
I'm just
speak
saying,
about being a tough guy, I'm not talking about the court. I'm talking about the gang signs. You know,
yeah,
Dangerous.
flashing guns on social media and throwing up signs. I'm talking about
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But he's not.
But
But he didn't do that. He just made a gun shooting signal on the court. I get if there was another social media post doing that, but if you go back and look over this past year, he hasn't done any of that.
Yeah, he hasn't.
But think about
But you know,
this.
your
You
record
see,
follow you.
yeah, but
It does.
think back with some of the shooters, like the shooters in the NBA, when they made a shot, they go down and put the pistols in the hip and all that, and bang bang and all that. Ain't nobody said anything because of his past. It's an issue. Allen Iverson never made it to the Olympic team, and he was one of the leading scorers in the NBA
Yeah, but
several years.
he wasn't one of the best guards during that time. That's why he didn't make the playoff. I mean the Olympic team. And I mean I'm pretty sure Adam
Cap on
Silver
that.
told Ja Morant,
Well, we're gonna get in
don't be
trouble
doing
for that.
nothing.
We
For
are
what?
in trouble for that one. Now, hold on. I ain't saying you wrong. I'm just saying, boy, his fans, man, they
Hey,
probably
I mean
find out my IP address. They might find out my IP address.
I'm sorry to break people's hearts, right? But I watched him play. He was not one of the best guards to be on that team. It's just it is what it is.
Hey, MJ, you better be careful. You gonna get that LeBron. LeBron gonna pull up on you.
Keep Allen Iverson's name out your mother mouth.
You know that's his
Well,
favorite player.
AI don't roll
yeah,
like that.
he might be on his sheet now.
Yeah, you
AI
might be
don't
on
roll.
LeBron hit list.
So
That's
AI
his favorite
best friend
player.
used to live across the street. So
Yeah.
AI best friend used to live across the street from y'all uncle, and we just see him all the time. He a cool
Hey, I
guy.
love AI, man. I love AI. He was
Yeah, I
one of
love
my
AI
favorite
too.
players.